afternoon, second grade students and families. It's Mr. Sargent here with your day 47 recap video for ELA and for science. Before I get into the video any further, I want to give some shout outs to some students that have just been doing a phenomenal job this week. Start off with Adelie. We missed you yesterday, but today you came in and did a phenomenal job. Keep up the great work, Adelie. I want to give another shout out to Jordan, who worked really hard on her iReady diagnostic and reading today, and it shows. Jordan, I couldn't be more proud of you. Ahmed, who was in class asking some incredible questions. And for our activity later that we're going to talk about in ELA, Chase, your questions were phenomenal. So, Ahmed, Chase, everybody else who asked questions today, keep asking those wonderful, awesome questions. And I want to give a special shout out to Davin. Davin was our 100th subscriber to this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I do these videos for you. Even if one student watches, I'm still going to do these videos. I have fun doing them, and I have fun teaching you all. So hopefully we keep it going, we keep the fun going, and we keep the learning going. So, ladies and gentlemen that I mentioned, thank you for an incredible week. Keep up the good work. In ELA today, we talked about solving mysteries. Well, we talked about finding clues. Now, a clue is a hint or proof or evidence that helps us answer a question. Now, in order to find the right clue to solve the problem, you have to be asking the right question. And in today's activity later, we're going to be working on how to ask the right question. Now, if you look behind me, we have this sentence: King Ednoid owned the fleetest horse in the realm, far faster and nimbler than any horse in the 12 counties. Well, that's great and all, but I'm looking at one word in particular, and that's the word fleetest. I have never heard of the word fleetest before. Have you? And what I'm wondering is, what on earth does fleetest mean? Now, we could go ahead and guess, but we're here to solve mysteries today, aren't we, ladies and gentlemen? So we need to find the clues. So as we work through this sentence, if you look, King Ednoid owned the fleetest horse in the realm. But then right after, we have far faster and nimbler than any other horse. So can we say that the word fleetest can mean faster or the fastest, or even nimbler, which means able to run, being flexible, things like that? I think that's a logical explanation of what the word fleetest means. So by using the words that are surrounding the word we don't know, we're able to figure out the meaning of it. And it's going to make our reading a lot easier. Let's try some more examples. Now, behind me, we have the sentence: Bobby couldn't finish his humongous sandwich. I read humongous like that because it was on all capitals. We don't have many context clues around it, so we look at our answers to try to find what we call a synonym. Now, a synonym is a word that you can replace another word with, and it has the same meaning. So we're looking for a word that has the exact same meaning as humongous. Now, a great strategy here is to take out humongous and see which one of those answers actually fits in the sentence and has it make sense. So let's read it with our 4 possible answers. Bobby couldn't finish the full sandwich. Okay, that's a good answer. Bobby couldn't finish the delicious sandwich. That's not bad. Bobby couldn't finish the huge sandwich. And Bobby couldn't finish the yummy sandwich. Now, which one sounds the best? Well, I agree. Huge. Huge and humongous are synonyms. So sometimes the context clues aren't in the reading itself. You're going to find those clues in the answers to the questions. And finally, we have the sentence: the gorilla is often gentle, but can also be ferocious. Now, I don't know about you. If I'm looking for the word ferocious, well, it kind of has a certain feel to it. But as I look around the sentence, I don't see any clues, except for the word gentle. Now, gentle does not mean ferocious, but in this case, it means the opposite of ferocious. So I can understand what ferocious means by understanding what the opposite of gentle means. This is what we call an antonym. Say antonym. Good. Antonym is when you use a word and you find the direct opposite. Up is down, left is right, loud is quiet. Those are all antonyms, which means they're the opposite meaning. Now, knowing that this is an antonym sentence, are we able to figure out what ferocious means by understanding what gentle means? So when you're solving a mystery in your reading, take a look at the context clues around what you are reading. There's always going to be a clue to tell you the meaning. Now, it may be, it's right next to it. The meaning of it's going to be right next to it, or there's a definition. You may need to find a synonym like we did when we picked the answers and replace the answer with the word we were looking for. Or it could be we're looking for the opposite or the antonym to help us understand the reading. Now, how do we find clues? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got to ask the right questions. So for today's activity, well, I'm going to try to teach you how to ask the right questions. Today's activity is, well, you got to guess what's in the box. Now, how do we guess what's in here? Well, very good. We find clues. And the best way to find a clue is to ask the right question. Now, for today's game, you can't just guess what it is, because we'll be here all day, won't we? What you're going to need to do is come up with a few yes or no questions. Now, what do I mean when I say yes or no question? I mean, every question that you're going to ask me is going to have the answer either yes or no. Now, that may seem simple enough, and you may be asking yourself, well, how can I get enough information that way? Well, if you listen to the clues, you'll be able to figure it out. So let's give it a shot. Now, the first thing I was able to do with this package is shake it around a little bit, shake it side to side, and I could already find clues just by shaking the box. I can realize that, well, it's going to be smaller than the box, and if you listen, it's got enough space to move around in there, so it's not going to be that big. It's not that heavy. I can lift it up with ease. And, well, it's not pouring out, so I know it's not a liquid or a gas. So I know it's a solid. So now what we have to do is come up with the right yes or no questions to find our clues. So our class today came up with a few questions to ask me to try to guess what it is. So I'm going to relay that information and give you guys the clues at home, and maybe you can think of some other questions to ask me tomorrow. Question number 1 was, is it a toy? No, it's not a toy. Question number 2, can you eat it? No, you can't eat it. Question number 3, do you use it in ELA or science? And for that, I could not give an answer. Do you know why? Very good. It's not a yes or no question. Now, if they ask me, do I use this for ELA? I would say no. Did I use this for science? The answer is yes. The next question is, does it use internet? No, it does not use internet. And then someone else asked the question, is it an electronic? And technically, yes, it is an electronic. And after that, the students asked quite a few questions about how they think it looks. So after a few of the questions, they were able to get some sort of mental image, because what they were doing is they were listening to the clues from my question. Now, if you listened to the questions before, you know it's a solid, you know it's not that big, you know I use it in science. What could it be? Now, for those looking for a YouTube exclusive hint, well, I know you guys are already the brightest students ever, so you probably don't need a hint. But if you look at day 36 and some of the things that we talked about that day and the experiment we did, you'll probably be able to figure out what's in the box. So rewatch that video and think about what are some of the things that you saw in the video, what are some of the things we did in the video, and what are some of the things we used. So when you come back tomorrow, come to me with your questions, because remember, tomorrow you only get one guess. Good luck, everybody. And that's it for day number 47, ladies and gentlemen. As a reminder, don't forget for our experiment, you'll need a plate, you'll need some warm water, and some Skittles. All right? I look forward to teaching you tomorrow. I look forward to you learning tomorrow. And until then, I hope you have an incredible night.